this is actually my first time doing a live onto YouTube, so I'm using OBS in case you're wondering. So a question came up in one of the groups that I'm in on Facebook on automation. It's actually a pop-up group about automation, and we were talking about our favorite providers to be able to do the email marketing automation. And I have been a devout ActiveCampaign person for a few years prior to that with MailChimp, but then MailChimp couldn't keep up with the technology, so I switched over to ActiveCampaign. And then I'm really loving it. I still love it. It's a great, amazing thing. So this video is not really about, showing all the features and comparing them side by side. This is under the assumption that you actually know what ActiveCampaign is and all of the cool things it can do, but you're curious about Fluent CRM and how it's actually going to be able to help you if you have a WordPress website and you're looking for an alternate CRM solution. So that's what we're going to go over today. So the first thing that we are going to talk about is the fact that Fluent CRM uses Fluent Forms. So it's actually pretty simple. When you get the Fluent CRM, it has you do Fluent Forms version, for the free version. So they do have a pro version that's got a lot of really cool features, but they do have the free one that is required to get going and get set up with Fluent CRM. I created a quick contact form demo just to show you right here. And it's really simple to set up and connect to the CRM. They have an integrations here. If you actually go over to the integration modules, you just select that you want the Fluent CRM, and then you add it to your form. And you'll be able to, do your list, which everything you set up in Fluent CRM, which we'll go in a second, you have a list, and then you can, select the email and like if there's a first name, last name, all that good stuff, right? And the other thing that's really cool for segmenting and all of that stuff is you can load it up with, all your tags that you do. So for example, if you have a lead magnet that's free versus a lead magnet that's paid, you can add them in there. I put in like where, as far as the funnel, the program that I'm focusing on, which direction they're in, like are they in the awareness stage or the interest phase or desire, or they're actually going into the sales stage. And then you can also keep track of like your ads. This is just, as I said, an example. And so you can add in as many tags as you want, whatever makes sense for you, just like a good automation thing can do. And you can skip if they're already in there, double opt-in, all of the good things that you're used to from ActiveCampaign as well. Now, going over to Fluent CRM, I do want to mention it is a new product. They only released this, I think, in August or September of 2020. So it is not fully fleshed out. It is not like a huge product that's been around for years, but they're the creators of Fluent Forms, and they have been doing this for a long time. So they are a really good, solid development team, and there's I don't think they're going to be going away anytime soon. And they're really going full force into this. So I was really happy to get on in the first little batch of stuff to find out how this all works. And I have to say, it's really, really promising. Even on this first round, it's really good. They have this, there's a contact list. This is a sample website that I set up, so there's no information on here, but you would have your contacts here. You can import them in a CSV, or you can actually import all your WordPress users, because if you're a WordPress person, then sometimes you'll find that you actually end up with people who end up on a user, but they don't get over into your whatever email contact management software that you've been using. So it's cool because you can actually combine them. And if you have a list that you've created because of just direct email, instead of having, some of it's over in ActiveCampaign, some of it's actually on your email, and some of it's in WordPress. So it's great because you can actually put all of it together. And I find that super, super useful. You can also add them manually, and that works. And so the way their system works, it's same, but different. All of these are pretty much the same. Everything's an email campaign. So you create your first email campaign and first campaign. And then the cool thing about is if you're used to WordPress, you'll notice that this looks very much like Gutenberg, and that's because they are using the basic Gutenberg structure here. So you can, type here, you can, where's the ad? Hold on. Of course, because I'm doing the demonstration right now, I can't make it work for some reason. I'll just remove the block. But so there's the plus sign. So like you can add your images, all your blocks that you've got stored in there. So if you create custom blocks, I think they might start, they're supposed to be integrating some of that too, so you can create your own blocks. But I think that's on the roadmap for a while. But anyways, you can just set it up. They have some templates that they have, especially on the Pro version. And by the way, they do have a free version of this. I have the Pro, but I don't know the differences between the free and the Pro because I have the Pro. And but I think it's cool to like check out. The cool thing about this too is that it integrates with any SMTP server. So you can use Amazon SES with this. So depending on what your email list size is, that can be a huge amount of savings. Like if we just go over to ActiveCampaign pricing, for example, the pricing, if you've got say you've got 1,000 contacts, even if you're just getting the light, you're already talking $25 a month. Amazon SES is literally pennies. I think I can't remember the rates off my head, but if I remember correctly, a list of 2,500 that sent out, several email lists, and then the automation, it was only like $6 a month for that company. I should have probably looked up before I recorded this video, but this was on the fly. Anyways, so that is, you can start seeing the savings there. Now, Fluent CRM you do have to pay for it. It's not free. Although I said they do have the free thing, but it does have some really cool basic stuff. So you can create your email. They have email sequences. So this is not quite like the really robust automation campaigns in ActiveCampaign, but you can do my first sequence, just so you can get an idea of what it looks like. It's really simple. And remember, this is round one of their release. So you add a sequence, you can use an email template. It's the same thing as before. And then this is where you can set delays. Like, do you want it to be, the next day, the same day, 3 days, 5 days? You can do a time range in there. And so it's all pretty much the same. And the cool thing about it, just like everything else, like you can do an @ to get all of the variables that are stored in the database. And with Fluent CRM, you can create your own custom variables. So you can have all kinds of information in here. Like you can keep track of the products that they use, all of that stuff. So that part is really super cool. And especially if you pair it with something like WP Fusion, or I use Uncanny Automator, that is like a superpower. I don't know if you know about Uncanny Automator and sorry, I'm on the wrong thing. If you know about Uncanny Automator or WP Fusion, I just realized, let me switch this over. So wait, I did the wrong one. Sorry. Let me get it set up for you real quick. Sorry about this. Where am I? Oh my gosh. I forgot to set that up. One last time. I'm sorry. There we go. All right. So this is Uncanny Automator. They have, as you can see, they have a ton of integrations. And basically what Uncanny Automator is like Zapier, but for WordPress. And the cool thing is that actually Uncanny Automator also integrates with Zapier. So not only can you talk with all of the things that are going on in your WordPress website, you can also take any of that information and do anything that you would do with a Zap, right? So they have integrations with all kinds of forms, not just Fluent Forms and Fluent CRM. So even if you use Fluent CRM, but you prefer a different form, if you use Uncanny Automator, you can use that to connect whatever form you want to use over into Fluent CRM. And I have started using Pioneer Forms, and they're like a new product as far as the standalone product for WordPress. But if I remember correctly, they've been doing like Elementor packages and forms and all kinds of plugins for Elementor for a long time. So they are a stable development company. It's just, this is a new product, the Fluent Forms. So they're not on their Uncanny Automator yet, but you can just use a webhook and then it connects. And that's super awesome, right? So Uncanny Automator, not only does it have the built-in integrations, but anything that you have that has a webhook, you can integrate it to any other thing that on WordPress that has a webhook. So it is pretty cool, powerful. It's very similar to like setting up a Zap. I have Pro, so they do have a free version, and I think the free version you can't do the anonymous, or I can't remember. There's different things that you can do and not do with it. But the cool thing is, like, say you wanted to do an anonymous setting, so you had someone coming in on a form, like lead user, right? So say they came in on your Fluent form, and it is this is a Pro, part of the Pro version, and then they did your contact form, which you can set up your contact form or lead form, whatever you want to call it, anywhere. It's just a basic form thing. But as I said, Uncanny Automator lets you use all kinds of different forms. So whatever your preferred form thing is, and to create your landing page. So you would do that. And then you set up like you can create a whole new user based on the information that they set up. There's some scripts. They actually have an instruction tutorial on their website on how to set it up and create a new user. And then you can add actions, and then you can go over to Fluent CRM and add as many tags as you need to, or you can enroll them into a LearnDash course, which is actually one of the things that I like to do, right? So I can then, create all of the stuff through LearnDash, and then use LearnDash to manage it all, and then use Uncanny Automator to integrate and tie in and automate the whole process. So I just thought I'd mention this for you guys all. If you have any questions, let me know. As I said, this is a really quick thing. I didn't really plan out a list of what I was going to talk about. So let me know, drop a question in the box if you are curious about any of this, and I hopefully will talk to you soon. All right. Let's see.